Well, hello there, Soul Bridge family. This is Julie from Soul Bridge Holistics, and today I'm going to talk about charging objects with Reiki and what that looks like, what the process is, what kind of objects can be charged with Reiki, and then what do you do with them after that. I've got a show and tell collection here also. So the first thing I want to do is talk about setting intention. Why do you want to charge these objects? I want to create an object or an amulet that holds a healing charge of high vibrational energy, for which to clear a space or emit a healing vibration to calm a space. And I've decided that a vortex isn't what I'm gonna work with. I want a physical object in that space. So I'm gonna choose an appropriate amplifier that will hold the Reiki energy. I have read that our Earth contains crystals that contain a crystalline grid that surrounds this planet. The Earth is made of dense materials. Mother Earth herself is stone, water, metallics, minerals. And if you think in terms of what holds an electrical charge the best, or what would shock you if it touched electricity, you need to be looking for a dense earth material. Yes, water can be charged, but not for our purposes today, and it's not the kind of density that will retain a charge. So you can't charge a glass of water or charge a lake and have it hold a Reiki vibration, because water is constantly moving and changing. So we want to go for something that doesn't move and change, and I'm going to take a second to explain density. So first, density objects are going to be stones. They're the densest object that there is, and I'm going to show you a couple of different kinds. This is a clear quartz stone, and these clear quartzes are really, really old. They're found deep in the earth. They're found sometimes locked together. This is a very interesting piece because it's really, really clear. I also have a smokier piece, and this has been created into a necklace or pendulum. It's a very awesome piece, but if you look at it carefully, you'll see that it is smoky. It's smoky clear quartz, not the clear quartz. And also it's wrapped in silver, so I've got this silver around it. The other thing I have is rose quartz, and these can be charged and given to people. Or you can just charge them and put them back on your shelf, because these came off my little prayer shelf over there and they are ready to be charged again. The other thing you can do is sand. This is actually sand from the Sahara. It's Moroccan desert sand, but I could just as easily get a container of white beach sand or some other kind of white sand, and I could use the sand, because what you want is something you can hold in your hand like this, that you want to use both hands to do Reiki. If you don't know how to do Reiki at all, then this is going to be a little bit of an advanced lesson for you. So please go back to my earlier lessons, way back earlier in my lessons, because you need to learn how to ground yourself, run your energy, clear your chakras, remove cords, put your clear aura protection around you, ask for your angels and spirit guides to come close to help you with this process. Okay, make sure you're clear and grounded, and that's the point where you would start to do charging. So you don't want to just jump into this. It's like giving someone a hug after you've been working in the garden and you're covered with dirt. You want to be clean energy. Okay, other objects that I don't prefer, that are not as good as just plain crystal, would be something that's metal with a stone in it. So this is kind of pretty. I'm not sure how close I can show it, if you can see that okay. But notice what I'm not choosing. What you don't see is there's no toys, there's no plastic, there's no cloth, there's no glass. I'm not using glass beads, not using plastic beads, not going to use toy jewelry with little stones in and stuff, because you're setting your intention, and part of the intention is, what are you using this for? So when you're looking at first density, you're looking at minerals, okay? And to some extent, you're also looking at water, because water is hydrogen and oxygen, but we're not so much working with elements and elementals, we're working with minerals. So you want to think in terms of crystals or stones. Okay, so crystals are intelligent. They can hold the densest vibration for the longest amount of time. Charging a crystal with Reiki can hold the vibration very long term. Items made of rock are preferred, which means any mineral in any size. So yes, you can get a beach rock, or yes, you can, go for a gigantic stone boulder in the middle of someplace and charge that with energy. Do not use glass, plastic, cloth, or toys. They are not dense, and they're unstable, because these guys, if you look at a crystal up close, if you look at the molecules of a crystal, they're very, very stable. And something like plastic or cloth or paper, it's just a mishmash of stuff squished together. It's not stable. Okay, the second runner-up, as I had said before, would be a metal object because of its density. And again, I'm trying to go for some kind of high vibration metal, so I'm using silver objects. Don't go for a piece of glass with an aluminum necklace. I mean, you really don't want junk jewelry. You want something that will hold a stable vibration. Okay, choosing your attention. So we have intention and attention. The energy channeling and the charging means focused attention and emotional intention. I have emotional focus, so I have to ground myself first. I have to make sure I'm running my energy. I have to make sure I'm visualizing my angels with me. I have to make sure that I'm clean and pure. Nervous system regulation, right? So I'm monitoring my breathing. I'm in a meditative state. This is not just symbolic meaning. So we're actually working with real energy channeling here. So it's not a game, and this is not a beginner lesson. There are some prerequisites here to go back and learn if you have not done those prerequisite things. So when I charge a crystal, I'm using focused intention and attention, the same way people do when they pray or meditate or set goals. The crystal becomes an anchor for that intention. Here's an example of the process that you would use. Okay, having cleaned yourself and run your energy, hold the crystal in your hand or near your heart. So here or here, right? Notice its weight, its texture, and its temperature. And for me, because I'm a Reiki master, the minute I hold it, and Reiki's going to start flowing through it. But as soon as I do the Choku Rei symbol, it will flow faster. I'm setting a clear intention. So I visualize what I want to use this for. Some people imagine light. So actually, imagine is not the right word, it's visualize. I'm actually offended by the word imagine. If you ask ChatGPT, it thinks it's imaginary, and it goes as if this was a wiki kingdom to collect cards on characters in a movie, but this is not imaginary. So Reiki takes a lot of training, it takes a lot of attention, it takes intention. We want to use the crystal to create calm. This crystal will return us to balance. This crystal will support grounding and clarity. So those are things that you can write down, that you can say while you're charging it. At the point where you have done your Choku Rei symbol and you're running the energy into this object. Then you say out loud, this intention is set. And then you'd place the crystal where you're going to see it or where you're going to use it. So I would actually sit and charge this crystal until it's really hot. I would get it as full as I can until I feel that it can't hold anymore. Okay? And then I would say this intention is set. You're not saying the crystal replaces medical care and the crystal does not control the outcomes. Okay, we're not doing voodoo here. This is not witchcraft. This is not magic. This is just Reiki healing, Reiki energy channeling. Channeling is not voodoo, witchcraft, or magic. So we have to understand that with light workers and a light warrior and my light family, we're working very high vibration energy with a very high connection to spirit. So I don't think you have the devil and his friends working with angels. That's exactly what we're doing. This right here is the crystal, which can also be used as a pendulum, and I will do a lesson on how to use a pendulum because it's quite fascinating how a pendulum works, because when you're channeling energy through it and you're focusing attention on it, you can get it to do things. See, it's even actually agreeing with me. It's going, yeah. This shows you the intelligence of a crystal. And a crystal in a pendulum shape, very intelligent. So this one, I would take the chain with it. I'd cover it completely in my hands. And again, you can hold it out like this, on your lap in front of you, or against your heart, whatever it feels like. You can hold that position for a while. And then of course you're going to go through the Choku Rei symbol and visualize the energy coming down through your crown chakra, down your arms, through your hands, and into this object until it's as hot as you can get it and charged as full as you can get it to be. Okay, that's this one. The other thing is this moonstone that's in the silver setting. It's a pretty darn beautiful piece, and this can be worn. So if you're a traveler, if you want safety, if you want to stay healthy, if you want to set it with intention, help me stay grounded, help me stay mindful. Let's say you're going to a job interview or something like that, and you're afraid you'll be kind of rattled, okay? The sand is very interesting because sand is lots and lots of crystals, only they're really tiny. I'm going to attach a picture here so you can see what sand actually looks like, because it is crystals, just as teeny weeny little crystals, but they're so beautiful. And if you could see it up close, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So any sand you can use to look really beautiful up close. And yes, it is tiny little crystals. So how do I do that? I would take the whole object. In this case, because I'm going to use this to walk around the neighborhood and throw sand to create a perimeter, I want to fill it up as high as I can. I want to fill this whole little bottle. Then I'm going to put it in my hand and cover it like that, so that I am actually charging the whole entire contents, the same way I would have done with a solid crystal. Okay. I'm going to try and charge the sand with the same intention. Okay. It will support grounding, clarity, safety. I'm filling it with white light. I'm using it for love and higher vibration. Okay. And then after it's charged, let's say that I say this intention is set for that one and it's done. And I can take it, and I have dumped sand in my pocket, just kind of walk around the neighborhood flinging little pieces of sand onto the ground, kind of like the breadcrumbs. Which children's story is that with the breadcrumbs? You know what I'm talking about. And creating a perimeter. I did that when I walked around my neighborhood. I've been here 7 years now. Try and keep a peaceful little circle around here. So energy vortexes are one way to throw out white light and love into the air, but this won't dissipate when you're charging these little crystals. They hold the vibration, which is why crystals are so important and so understated, you know. But think about what we use crystals in, because good timepieces use crystals. We actually had, they say during the time of Atlantis, a crystalline energy source that ran Atlantis. Interesting to read about that. Okay, other art items that can be charged as a talisman or what did I call that? I want to call it an omelet. An amulet, okay? Which is just basically an object that has a particular purpose, right? It has a focused purpose. A wedding ring. Wedding ring is a really good example because it's some sort of a really nice quality metal and a really nice quality stones in it. And diamonds can be charged. Why not? It's kind of crystal, right? Stone bead rosaries, or in this case, stone bead anything, stone necklaces, stone bracelets. If it has stones on it, then we know whether they're polished or cut into circles, or actually those little jade things that are in the shape of animals or Buddhas or whatever. If it's made of stone, it can be charged. A medal, as in a medal of valor, a medal of honor, a medal, some kind of a medal thing that you got, like a pin or an award, or some other kind of metal object, like a brooch with stones on it. Worry stones, cinder rocks. People used to have pet rocks, if they're painted or unpainted. If it's a stone, it can be charged, okay? So, what do I do with them at that point? Some people just like to carry a rock in their pocket. They call it their lucky stone. If you charge it with Reiki, it's that much luckier, right? Because now you're putting very high vibration in. Can it be a protector? Yes. Can it help you with, keep yourself grounded? Yes, if you put that intention to it. I want this to calm my space, clear my space, emit a healing vibration, help me stay grounded. That's really important going to an interview, isn't it? So as far as clearing your energy, protecting your aura, helping it to emit a vibration so high that negative entities don't want to come anywhere near you. These are all really good purposes to charge objects with Reiki. Also, when people are feeling sick, you can give them out to somebody and say, I hope you feel better. Here's a stone to help you out. And of course, you can give them as gifts to put on altars or stands or some sort of intentional space. Let's see if there's anything else I can say about charging these objects. So we know that we're looking for stones or metals, preferably stone. And by the way, there's a whole book about charging water and what intention or even thoughts can do to water molecules. Fascinating book. I will put that on the Soulbridge Holistics website, soulbridgeholistics.com, and put a link to that book so you can look at it. I think it's called The Power of Water, or The Power of Intention with Water, or something like that, where there's a Japanese doctor who charges water. Of course, Reiki, healing energy, the study of Reiki came from Japan. So fascinating what they're doing with using energy to charge objects, and what water looks like when you charge it with intention or words, which tells you that you should be charging your water just with intention before you drink it. And think about love. Don't drink stuff when you're upset, because you're literally charging all the water in that fluid of the object that you're drinking. Okay, I don't want to go on and on here, but I hope that you enjoy this, and I hope that it works for you. And I understand this would be a really long video if I tried to go into all those previous lessons. So please do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, go back and check out the earlier videos about everything that I talked about, grounding, running your energy, cutting energy cords, running your energy to clear chakras, putting the aura around yourself, okay, so that you understand how to set intention, and also how to use the chakra ray symbol for Reiki. I'm not charging for this, it's all free. That doesn't mean it's not serious work, okay? So you got your homework cut out for you today. All right, you all take care, and we'll see you for the next video.